Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Check, check, check. Let me make sure everything is streaming through. We're gonna get right to it. I'm a little hoarse. It won't be a long one tonight, y'all. Make sure the stream is working properly. Oh, look like we got action. Okay, okay. I don't want to be on here too long, y'all. I'm just really getting settled down, settled in. So I got a couple things I'm trying to do. So I wanted to address uh, the concept of growing pains. So we think about it in a physical, uh, height and different things like that. But in business and in your personal life, you actually go through growing pains too. So what do these growing pains look like? These growing pains can take all types of shapes and all types of forms. And these growing pains they could drag you down or they could build you up. So when we are dealing with growing pains, it can develop character. Your growing pains could make you more appreciative of life. And I spoke with a couple people yesterday and I was telling them about how I feel about life now. And one of them knowing my history and one of them just being introduced to me, she wanted to know, how did I come to be the person that I am today? For the people who knew me before, um, it was a lot of things that I'm not proud of now, but I'm never ashamed of anything that I've done, anything that I've been, anything that I've done. So I want to talk about welcoming these growing pains because if you want to grow as a person, you cannot escape these growing pains. If you want to be better, if you want to do better, if you want to gain some experience, if you want to acquire some wealth, you have to go through these growing pains. It is no way around it. So, in your professional life, your growing pains could be a lack of communication with people that you were once communicating regularly with. That could be your family, that could be your friends. Sometimes it could even be your spouse. And it depends on the type of spouse you have, whether y'all get through that or not. Because sometimes you are in a relationship with somebody who don't understand your growing pains and somebody who does not respect your growth. And if they cannot respect your growth, then it's probably not going to work out. See, as a continuous learner, I am always growing and I am enjoying my growth. I am comfortable in my uncomfortableness. If that makes any sense, I am okay with something new. I am okay with picking up a book and starting from scratch and learning something new. It's a lot of people that's afraid of that. It's a lot of people that's afraid of being bad at something. So they never experience anything new. You cannot walk into anything and be great. I don't care who you are. It's impossible. You can have a natural knack for something and be good at it, but it's impossible to do something for the first or the second time and be great. So you have to go through those growing pains. I don't care what it is. If you are a business owner and let's say you're a barber, let's say you've been cutting hair for 4 years, 5 years, or whatever. There are new tools at your disposal that can make you a better barber. They have wireless clippers now, they have all types of things that can make your job easier. So let's say you are an older barber and you say, hey, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not dealing with any of that stuff. I don't care about wireless clippers. I don't care about spray uh cleaners and all of this. I don't care about that. In my day, we did it. Listen, you're gonna get left behind. It is okay to grow. If people are explaining to you that you should stay comfortable and don't try anything new or don't try to grow at what you're doing, then that person doesn't care about you. See, if somebody is patting you on the back for being comfortable, they don't have your best interests at heart. Anybody that loves you wants to see you grow because, once again, stagnation is death. So if a person is around you and they watch you be stagnant and they are happy for you that you're stagnant, then that person does not care about you. The people that surround you that encourages you to be uncomfortable, they are encouraging your growth. You should accept it. If the people around you are not holding you accountable, you're around the wrong people because it's hard to grow if you're not being held accountable. Because it's hard for you to understand what you don't know or what you can do better if somebody is always telling you how great you are at something. That goes the same way for a mate. If you have a mate and you have to sprinkle some of this sometimes. But if your mate is always saying how great you are and that you couldn't do any better, then your mate does not care about you because your mate would take the time and explain to you the areas of growth that you can get to the next level in. Like if your mate does not tell you, Johnny, you need to get you a pair of those wireless clippers, then your mate does not care about you. If your friends are around you and they are watching you do nothing and remain stagnant, then they don't care about you. If the people around you are not bringing you resources, if the people around you are not tagging you in posts for things that could help benefit you in your growth, if they are not using you for the things that you offer, once again, if you are a barber and your friends are not using you as a barber, then your friends do not care about you. Because even if they didn't want to use you, they should give you some advice and tell you why they don't want to use you. Look, man, you're a barber, but your razor line just ain't, it ain't sharp, man. You got to practice your razor line, right? The people that truly care about you will encourage you to grow. They will never encourage you to be stagnant. And this matters because if the people around you are always patting you on the back and giving you these salutations for you being whatever you are, they haven't taken the time to see what the next level is for you. I don't care what level I'm on. My friends are saying, yeah, bro, and you can step it up. I remember one of my friends told me one day, this at this time, I'm making like really good money in the streets. I'm like doing real good. And I'm like feeling myself about it. And I got me, some new things and shiny things. And I was like, I'm never like really braggadocious or anything. You could tell that I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling myself. And he said, yeah, bro, you're doing good, but you can do better. Think about that. I'm excited. He didn't dog me. He said, bro, you're doing good, but you can do better. That is the crux. That is where you have to make a decision. Am I open to this criticism? Or do I feel a certain way? And am I, looking for a reason to fall out with this person over them expressing to me that they see more in me than I see at myself at the time? And you know what I did? I turned up. I turned up. All the way home, I thought about that. I said, man, what you mean I could do better? I'm doing great. This is better than I've ever done in my life. What do you mean I could do better? That's what I thought at first. Sometimes your lower self catches comments before your higher self get a hold of them. Because your lower self is your flesh. So your flesh, if you look at your flesh, your lower self is your flesh. The lower self is the flesh, right? The flesh is the most exposed to the world. So a lot of times when you're being criticized or you're being scolded about something, or somebody's just giving you some advice, your lower self, which is your flesh, which is the most exposed, it gets the information first. And if you are operating in your lower self, then the information never gets to the next level. But once you are operating in a higher self, even if something hits your flesh first, which is natural, because the flesh is the most exposed, right? So your lower self, your flesh, you have to understand this concept. I'm getting to something. You have to understand the concept that your flesh represents your lower self. Once again, I know I bring up the Bible a lot, y'all. I was raised in the church, but the the Bible always talk about the flesh being weak and the flesh this, the flesh that. So your lower self gets this information first. So let's just take that comment that I received from one of my best friends. This ain't a person in passing. This ain't somebody watching me on social media hating. This is one of my best friends 10 years ago and one of my best friends today. And I'm feeling myself. Once again, I'm making the most money I've ever made in my life at this time. And he told me flat out, he say, "Man, you're doing good, bro, but you can do better." Immediately the flesh puts up defense. Man, what are you talking about? But once again, I was like mid flesh then. I wasn't like right now I'm operating at a higher level, y'all. Not because I went and got an education and all that. I'm operating at a higher level, which made me go and get an education. What you have to understand is it's levels. So I have other levels to get to myself. That's the point of growth. But at the level I'm operating now and the level I was operating 10 years ago, it's a total difference already. But I wasn't totally in my flesh then. So the information was able to get to where it needed to be. And I said, you know what? It's time to turn up. By the time it may have been a 20-minute drive, maybe. It may have been a 20 to 25-minute drive home. In that amount of time, I had made my mind up that I'm going to turn up. I had made my mind up that my friend is right. And that's why he's my friend. If you can't trust your friend's opinion of you, you need new friends. If you feel like your friends are spiteful, they're hateful, they're jealous, they're envious of you need to get around new people because that's how people wind up with a bullet in the head. So you need to make some changes about that. And that's a different type of growing pain. I watched Alex Hermosi say, when I got to a different level, I had new friends. When I got to that next level, I had new friends. People are talking about day ones like it is something special. Now, you could be LeBron James or Drake or whoever, and your day ones can still be around you. But if your whole existence is about remaining loyal to these day ones, you are setting yourself up for failure because in the position that we're in, most of our day ones aren't where we want to be in life. So if your allegiance, your loyalty, your camaraderie ship is based on day ones and whoever your friends are, you're about to be stagnant because a lot of times your friends are around to be your friends and not to ensure you growth. And if you are not in a mental state to understand the difference, then you feel like jokes, gossip, and BS is having a good time. If your friends don't hold you accountable when you're wrong, you need new friends. Because if your friends are not going to do it, then who's going to do it? People, get out of your flesh. Your flesh is weak. Your flesh wants massaging. Your flesh wants rubbing. Your flesh does not want you to grow because it hurts. Until you are out of your flesh and you are operating on the next level, you will consistently run into roadblocks. You will consistently lay in a dormant state. You will remain stagnant as long as you operate in your flesh because your flesh doesn't want to be hurt. Your flesh wants exactly what it wants when it wants it. So if you are operating in your flesh, then you are constantly doing yourself a disservice. And what happens when you are operating in your flesh is that you get around people that makes your flesh feel better. This could be friends. This could be relationships. This could be your family. But when you are operating in your flesh, you are running from growth because growth hurts. You will not welcome growth until you start operating outside of your flesh. And I'm telling y'all this from experience. I'm not telling y'all this from some high horse. I'm telling y'all this from experience. Until you start operating outside of your flesh, until you start moving in the spirit, I don't know what that looks like for you. I don't know what that looks like for the person next to you. I'm saying until you start operating in the spirit and the higher self, the lower self is going to keep you stagnant. I made a post maybe 2, 3 days ago about men not getting to the next level until they're able to control themselves mentally and sexually. Men will not get to the next level until they are able to control themselves sexually. Once again, the flesh is weak. The flesh is weak. So we are seeing all of these images all day sexually. Boom, it's just these images. It's nice looking women on Instagram and Facebook. It's sexual advances and sexual conversations and innuendos and all of this stuff. And the flesh is weak. You have to control the flesh. So this is a conversation that a lot of men don't want to have, but this is a conversation that all men should have with themselves. I stopped watching porn like a minute ago, maybe a year or so ago. It was something. It's been a minute, y'all. I'm just being honest. And I've had a conversation with some of my friends, and uh, when I explain this, they like, man, you tripping. But I'm like, nah, bro. When you think about it, you sit there, and I don't know how long, but with me, it was bad because I literally, I'm telling you, I don't know who the user is, but I'm just keeping it 100, y'all. The flesh is weak, right? So when I'm talking what I'm talking, people think like, man, Jackpot tripping. So when I explained it to them, though, right? I'm looking to see who these comments from, but when I explained this to them, I said, listen, my guy, think about how much time you spend on whatever porn sites you want to watch. You feel me? I'm just saying it because when you think about this, you spend this time, whatever amount of time. Me, I was spending like crazy time. Not that I was just watching porn all day. I didn't have like a porn addiction, but I'm very particular about what I like. So I may go through 45 minutes of swiping videos to find something I like. You feel what I'm saying? Now, there's some stuff that most people don't want to talk about, but I'm here, y'all. I'm here for growth. And I'm telling y'all, you spend a lot of time. Well, me, I'm gonna speak from experience. I was spending a lot of time just finding a video. I'm talking about sometimes it may be an hour or more of me swiping through videos because I'm not turned on by everything. So that's a whole hour that at the time I could have been doing homework or something else productive. Then you look up, a whole hour has passed and you didn't touched on yourself and now you feeling guilty. Man, I ain't have to do that. So now you probably don't want to do nothing else, or you gonna try to do some kind of activity to get your groove back. Like, dang, let me get up and move around, man. I ain't no sucker. You feeling like a sucker, right? And then you got people telling you, oh, it's natural, man. Everybody do X, Y, and Z. Listen, bro, what everybody is doing is not for me, right? So I had to get into that and get out of my flesh to feel that growth, because most men are going to watch porn. Most men are going to masturbate. Women ain't going to do what they do too. I'm speaking from a man's perspective because I'm a man. So, from my perspective, I was wasting way too much time trying to find one video that I might like. Just being honest. And when I did it, I'm like, dog, I literally couldn't find a video. And I was like, dude, this ain't for me. It's been 52 minutes and I could have accomplished a lot in those 52 minutes. I got a business to run, school, other things that I got going on, and I need to figure something else out. So that was a wrap for that. The flesh is weak. I've been tempted and had, I'm just being honest, but you have to be strong. It's different than it was when we were kids because everything is so accessible to you, not just porn, but sexual experiences are in the palm of your hand because you got an inbox. You can reach out to exes, vice versa. Then you have uh these sites and different things. Like, it's so different. If you are not in control of yourself sexually, then you become a slave to yourself. Once you are a slave to your flesh, it's hard to get out of that. I know it's people thinking, man, it's too much. Like, listen, y'all. If I'm not giving y'all the whole game, then I'm lying to y'all. If I'm not giving y'all the whole game, I'm lying to y'all. I'm telling y'all the God honest truth, bro. Self control includes being in control of yourself sexually. And it's one of the major things because once you get in control of yourself sexually, you can control everything around you. If you are out of control sexually, then your life is probably out of control. That doesn't mean you're not supposed to have sex. It means you're supposed to control your sexual or urges. So, what controlling your sexual urges mean? You're not sitting around all day looking to get laid, whether it be masturbating, whether it be on Facebook in women inboxes, on a post, telling them how cute they are. It's guys that I see it all the time. They always like, dang, dog, you can't even scroll. All you see is their name. Boop, boop, boop. Like, damn. So when you see that, that is somebody that is not in control of themselves sexually. If you are consistently looking to be pleased sexually, you are not in control of yourself sexually, and you will not prosper. You will not reach your fullest potential. So a little bit of motion confuses people sometimes. You get a little, man, I'm doing good. Like I said, your full potential is something that only you know, or the people closest to you who care about you. You will not reach your fullest potential being a victim of your flesh. If you are constantly looking up, just think that's one, not an hour long video. You watched Power today and you felt, good because you keeping up with Power. That's your thing. I'm saying you sat down somewhere or laid down or stood up, whatever you prefer. That's your business. But almost an hour, you swiping through your phone looking for a video to get aroused by. And you have other things. Let's say you door dashed in that hour. Let's say you did anything in that hour, you would be in a better position than you are touching on yourself. I'm just keeping it 1,000. I know that people gonna think this crazy. Like Jackpot losing his mind. But anybody know me will tell you, bro. The only thing got a hold of me is biting my nails, and I've been doing better at that, and eating them damn sweets. I don't know if I've been doing better at that. I go through spurts. But them two things kick my ass. And I'm working on that because I know that they kick my ass. But if you do not understand that your growth is going to be uncomfortable, that means when you want to spend that hour doing what you're trying to do, you say, bro, I'm good. Your growth is going to be uncomfortable. Your growth might mean you have to be living with somebody for a year. That's cool, bro. I talked to somebody yesterday. They said they gave up everything. They living out of a storage container or something, whatever. And that's cool too. That's growth. Whatever is conducive to your particular growth, the world cannot tell you what is going to light your fire or what's going to help you grow. The world can't tell you that. Only you know what's conducive to your growth and what's going to set you apart from the old you. People hate hearing anything about discipline. If you are not disciplined sexually, you are a slave to your sexual appetites and you are a victim to your flesh. And your flesh doesn't want you to grow. I'm going back to this. Your flesh wants immediate gratification. Your flesh doesn't want you to save $1, it wants you to spend $1. Your flesh is what keeps you in your phone on Pornhub, X, whatever you got going on, and you getting your porn from whatever. Your flesh is what's keeping you there. You have to learn to operate outside of your flesh. Your flesh is the first contact, and that's fine. But you have to learn to control your flesh in order for you to feel better about growth, because your flesh is going to tell you you don't need that. Your flesh is going to tell you to eat that hamburger. We love hamburgers. Why you don't want to give us a hamburger? Your flesh is going to tell you meet up with that girl and you go have sex with her. Your flesh is going to tell you to light a candle and turn on your favorite erotic video. Listen to me. Until you are operating outside of your flesh, you will not grow, because your flesh is going to take every bit of advice to heart. Your flesh is going to push away the people that can give you any type of positive reinforcement. Your flesh is going to get rid of those around you who criticize you. But those are the people that you really need. And until you realize how bad you need these people, you will continue to operate in your flesh and below your standards, your abilities. Listen to me. Growth hurts. Growth hurts. If you are not in pain, you are not working hard enough. I went to the gym yesterday. I don't go on Fridays, but I went to the gym yesterday and I was working out, working out like I regularly work out. And I was like, okay, man, let me put some more weight on here. So I put um like 20 pounds. So it's like 40 pounds or whatever at the end of the day. I put about 40 extra pounds on there. Let me work out. And I was doing the same reps about and all that. I'm like, dog, I'm cheating myself. Let me stay at this weight, because that's what growth is. Growth is that next level. My flesh was saying, dude, I'm hurting. You just put all this weight on my chest, and it could scare you sometimes. What if I can't push this weight off of my chest? That's your flesh. Get out of your flesh. You have to get out of your flesh as soon as possible, or you are going to drown because you will not grow. Get out of your flesh immediately. Do whatever you need to do to get out of your flesh. If you need to read spiritual books, do that. If you need to watch motivational videos, do that. If you need to listen to some good old gospel music, do that. But whatever you need to do to get out of your flesh, you need to be doing that immediately, because you are stunting your own growth and nobody is going to suffer for that but you. Nobody has to deal with your problems but you. Nobody has to go hungry but you. Nobody has to suffer but you. So it's up to you to go and look for something that's going to help you experience growing pains so you know that it is time to get to the next level, because the only way you get to the next level is through growing pains. I'm gonna open it up to answer some questions before I get out of here, y'all. I got a few comments. I'm good. I ain't no questions in the comments, but if y'all got some questions, I'll answer the questions, y'all, and I'm gonna get out of here. The questions could be about what I talked about today, or the questions could be about something else. Whatever you feel like kicking it about, we can kick it, man. I just want to make sure that everybody understand where I'm coming from when I talk about growing, y'all. And this coming from experience. It's not coming from somebody that's uh uh not pushing the type of stuff that I'm telling you. I'm living it. I'm living it. Anything that I do, I elevate in. I'm living it. I'm telling you things from experience. I'm telling you things because I was where some of you guys are. I have been, you know, down on my knuckles. I've gone through that. I had to start over twice coming out of penitentiary, from the state and then the feds. And I'm gonna tell y'all, it's mental. Somebody asked me how I pivot. Sleepy night. So what's up? What's up? Somebody say, how do you pivot? That's what's the best. Oh, so what's the best way to pivot? It depends on what type of pivot. So what people have to realize in some of my pivots is that I did what was natural. If we talking about, especially with business and everything, if you look at my progression and you somebody that knew me before, probably. So if you know me before, you knew I was an artist. I've been an artist all of my life. So I had a record deal when I was 14, maybe. That's where Jackpot come from. I did not steal it from Jackpot the Juice. Anybody know me know I've been Jackpot since like maybe like 99, something like that. So in oh, you saying career wise, but I'm gonna give you the pivot that I did what came naturally. So I've done music all of my life. I still do music. I gotta my studio is on this side. So um what came natural for me was doing music. So I did music. I had a record deal when I was 14. In my state bid, I met a guy that was really smart and had managed other artists. And he sat with me and explained different business things to me. And it was comfortable for me because I had read a lot of those, everything you need to know about business books and things like that. So while I'm reading and learning the music business, I'm planning to start a label with this guy who I consider to be a genius. To this day, I consider this guy to be a genius, and I'm pretty smart myself. So that just go to show you that I'm not just bigging up somebody. This guy was like very smart, and he had experience in the music business. So when I came home, he was already home, and he was like, "Look, bro, we gonna do this and that." And even though he was a genius, he had his demons, and that's what kept me away from doing certain things because he was drunk all the time. And then something else fell through where I had some funding set up. So that didn't work out. So now here I am with music that I love. And I find somebody that say, look, I don't know anything about the music business, but I got some money for you. So I take the money and we start a label. It was By Any Means Entertainment. It was a couple mixtapes we put out. And while we doing this, I have to learn the business because now I have the money to put behind videos and different things like that and do shows and pay for different opening slots. Whatever I wanted to do, I had a little money. Um, World Star, all of that. So we spending money and I'm learning the business. I'm making mistakes. I'm learning, I'm making mistakes. And I learned and I finally decided to start my own label because what happened was this guy had more money than me. I'm not about to stun in front. He had more money than me. And he wouldn't commit the way I would commit. So let's say he had $100,000 in his pocket. He would give me $5,000 of that and say that's the budget. With me, if I had $50,000, I'm going to say I'm gonna spend this $45,000 and pay this other 5,000 towards my bills this month. So I decided to do my own thing and start Gifted and Talented. So and starting Gifted and Talented, I had to learn more things about the business. So I worked with my consultant and I just talked to him. And he's doing contracts now, like government contract consultant. But I talked with my consultant. We got the label started. Bam, Dorothy Bam Ware was managing me at the time. She can attest to all of this stuff. I had to learn stuff. So I would go learn stuff, build with Bam, learn different things. And that ended up helping me become successful as an independent artist. I wasn't T.I. none of them guys, but I started making money as an independent artist. And that was a lot more than some people were doing. So those people would call me and ask me a lot of questions. So I became a consultant, a music consultant. And after doing music consulting for about a year, I decided that I wanted to do a workshop and I started doing that. So now we go from me doing music to me being a consultant. But if you think about it, I had other things in place that could have worked out and I wouldn't have to learn as much as I did about the business. But the dude that I thought still think is a genius couldn't put a drink down. So he ended up catching himself another case. Some of his family on here too, but he ended up catching himself a case. So he should be coming home in a couple years. But I was forced to learn more of the business because now I have somebody saying, I got some money for you, but I don't know anything about the business. But I believe in you. And even though it didn't work out, I definitely respect him for giving me my start, coming home and giving me enough capital to do what I need to do and learn from it. So now I'm doing consulting. I go back to the feds and I understand that I love business now. So I love music. I start consulting because I did my own label and my label was doing good. So now I understand the business. So now I go to jail. I say, they like, what you want to go to school for? It's a general degree. I want to go for business because I understand that music business is 90% business and only 10% music. So now, even if I want to be an artist when I get home, I know I'm gonna need to learn some business. So I go to school in there, bam, I learn the business. I meet a teacher that's a consultant. One of my professors in there is a consultant, and he give me the consultant game. And he gave me the game because a lot of the stuff I was turning in was of such a high level that he was like, you can do this because I do this. Honestly, that's what happened. He brought me in a folder full of um his information for his consultant business. And I studied that and I said, dog, I really can do this and I can make a living doing this. So when I came home, I had my mind made up that I wanted to do business consult. I came home and I said, well, what's the highest level of business I can get? And I went back to school and I don't got to stop there. I can get this master's. And that's what I did. So as I'm doing all of this, my credit was jacked up. I learned credit repair. While I'm doing credit repair, I meet a mentor because I learned the software and he needed somebody to train his virtual assistant. So I meet a mentor. So once I meet this mentor, he introduced me to business credit. I learned business credit because he gave me access to like a $4,000 course. And I learned business credit. I started with myself. I built my business credit. I've done it for other people now, but I started with myself with both credit and business credit. So now that I'm working on my business credit on top of my credit, I end up getting my business credit up and I learned everything. Bam. So now I'm consulting on business credit. It's a natural progression. And you have to understand where I'm going with this as far as everything being a natural progression. So everything was a natural progression for me. So it wasn't necessarily a hard pivot. You had to think about what's the natural progression because the natural progression is what's going to cause you the least amount of growing pains. To do something totally different is what's going to cause you more growing pains, right? What's up, Nick? What's up, Brick? What's up, Mercy? So what I'm trying to explain to y'all is in in growing career wise, personally, whatever, you take the path of least resistance in your growth. You do not have to go and carve out a whole new lane to do something. You could just do what comes natural in your growth, career wise, is the next natural progression. Some type of entrepreneurship. Is it a promotion? What does your next level look like? If you cannot see what your next level looks like, you are probably never going to get there. Never. Y'all see, I'm yawning. I'll be up early. But I just wanted to give y'all this game, y'all. If y'all got any questions, man, shoot the questions in there. If you got any type of I'm so what I'm gonna give y'all a quick run through of what the Real Life XP app. I'm not on here to sell it. It's actually free. Just type in Real Life XP, um, just like this. I'm putting it in the comments. Now, what the app is all about is the app is all about entrepreneur acceleration. And when I say acceleration, it's not just get some money, grow your business, get a loan. I hate that people think that that's coaching, and that's not coaching at all. Everybody don't need a loan, y'all. That's not what coaching is. That's not something that you need to consider until you know you can do something with it and you're not about to go in debt. Coaching is actually helping you get to the next level in the shortest amount of time. So I'm posting these links in here, y'all, because the Real Life XP app is free. Download this XP app if you haven't already. This app is free. And this app has a business credit guide in there and a personal credit guide for free. And it has other content, and I'm gonna add some more content over the weekend. I got a few ebooks. I may do like a mini course or something else, a workshop or something in there this weekend. And I just want y'all to get this app, because once y'all get this app, I can communicate with y'all through this content, different things like that. And I just want to make sure y'all get the whole game, because Facebook ain't gonna give it to you. Facebook is definitely is quieting you, is muffling your voice, it's not allowing you to reach the people the way you need to. And that's why I made an app, and I want everybody to download this app. So y'all download this app and get this game. It's free. It is a paid tier, but it's nothing exclusive to the paid tier yet. You will know when it's exclusive to the paid tier, because you won't be able to view it. But I haven't dropped anything exclusive to the paid tier, and the stuff that I released this weekend won't be exclusive to the paid tier either. It's a community on there, so you can get on there and talk to people that's like you, so you can get motivated. We need that. We need positive reinforcement and reassurance. So we need to understand how important that is, and that's available in the app. Also, get this game, y'all. Eventually, I want to have other entrepreneurs make content in the app, and I want everybody in there helping each other. Everybody in there making resources available to each other, because we need that as entrepreneurs. It is not a competition. If the people around you are competing with you, you need to get around some new people, because that's how people end up with a hole in the head. I'm not going to hold y'all up anymore. It's Friday, and even though I'm about to get off of here and maybe relax a little bit, it's the first time I sat down pretty much all day, but I may do some reading, a little homework. And I know people getting ready to hang out. So y'all go ahead, get yourself together, enjoy y'all night. But y'all make sure that y'all download that app. And if y'all want a hour consultation, it's usually between 30 minutes and an hour. If y'all want a free consultation, I say that. Please do not be afraid to reach out to me. I will definitely give everybody a one up. Time is money, though. I can't sit and go over everything with y'all. You can wait to this type of session and ask a question. And I try to do these at least once or twice a week. Other than that, I want y'all to enjoy yourself. Y'all don't spend all your tax money in one place, and y'all be blessed. And that's real life.